PKA's canceled. We got in a huge fight on PKN, and we all said, fuck you, I'm never speaking to you again. Fuck you, Kyle. Fuck you, Woody. It's over. Fucking done. So that's the true, not exaggerated statement about what happened. So guess I'm never doing PKA again. I guess the whole show imploded. That sucks.
I am just too cold.
I'm actually not an attorney. Cliff Hutchinson's made up. That's not real. I know. I'm impersonating an attorney.
Are you serious?
Okay, all that legal advice I gave you, Kyle. It is
stamping my paperwork weeks now.
You've been notarizing all my shit. No, it's not.
I think Japanese brothels don't let Westerners in.
They will never know. It isn't even me. Oh, I am so horny. I have a hot day at work. I work 48 hours straight. I almost kill myself. Just need a little bit of release.
Reese.
Have one of those horribly offensive, like Japanese eye, like scarves, where it just like you're peering through it.
Episode number 420 with our guest Squabble Cup. Now a word to our sponsors.
Here's the thing. This isn't a democracy. This is like a tri-headed Medusa that you motherfuckers have been worshiping for the last 4 or 5 years. Don't you know who the fuck we are? We're the Rape Squad Killers. We talk about rape and murder like it's apples and oranges here. There's a bottle of lubricant handy at all times at my home. And you're surprised when we want to, squeeze a little bit more money out of our hard work. I don't understand it. It's the American way. So either ship out with the rest of the commies or get on board with us, because it's going to be a good time. It's hard to meet nice people online.
Mm-hmm. I found 2 right here, though. You guys are just a couple of sweeties.
God,
that's why we got the matching rings and everything. Can we do that? Can we get matching rings, or at least tattoos?
How about pendants for our necklaces?
Yeah. No.
What if?
All right. I got it.
No. This. We all got a letter right here on our arms right here, so that we could put our arms together, and it was PKA. Let's do that. Like big Gothic letters.
I could do one better. They should say RSK.
Oh, that's not cool. No, I can't. The Rape Squad Killers is just too politically incorrect to be
if I'm being honest, I still don't know what that is. I still don't even know. You know the word of the Lord, son.
Then let me ask you this. I don't remember this exactly. I know that Jesus roughed up the tax collectors, but then it seemed like he told one of his apostles or something that they actually do have to pay this tax, though, but I shouldn't have to pay the tax. I should be exempt because I'm the Son of God. Go to the sea, and a fish will come forth, and take the fish, and in its mouth is a shekel, and take that shekel and pay for you and I. That happened, right? Is that the same story?
But of course you're talking about the story where, Jesus is so mad when he goes into because he wasn't mad at the tax collecting per se, or the usury, I guess. He was mad at the fact they were doing it in the temple. And so they had tables set up everywhere, because he was in a new town, and he wanted to go to the temple, see what was up. And he went in, and there was no worship going on. It was just tables of wares and, people paying taxes and loaning money out. And so in a very Christ-like way, he goes bananas, grabs a whip, and starts whipping all around this temple at people, whipping them as they're like, Jesus! Well, I guess they did. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this guy's out of control. And they're just whipping these people, whipping them until they run out of the temple, and he's scolding them the whole time. And I don't know. I like that Jesus. Looking back, some of my playing with toys was a little macabre. I had something I used to do where I wasn't 4. I was probably 8 or something. And my parents had those stairs, just regular 2-story stairs over an atrium. And so they were those stairs where it wasn't solid. There was a gap in between all the stairs as you walk up, And I would set it up on every stair there would be a new boss that the hero, whoever it was that day, would have to fight with his troop of whatever. And as they went up the stairs, so it's 20 bosses, and I'd always put my favorite bad guy at the top, usually Bane or something else, and he would usually win. But after the boss was defeated, I don't know why I did this. I would take string and pretend that my hero, having, you know, subdued the villain, was now tying it around his neck, and then would hang him from the back of the stair, and he would just dangle there, almost like a warning to the others that
Justice prevails.
Yeah, look what's going to happen to you. And so by the end, if the hero was victorious, it would be a whole staircase of slightly spinning and hanging action figures by their neck with string. And it was like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, what a badass. And now I'm thinking, like, what the fuck? Why did I hang them?
I just imagine like your dad like opening the door to your room and like looking at it and seeing that and be like, yeah, he's hanging him again.
He's hanging, and this is like the same age where my dad was like, all right, Taylor, like, baseball practice again, soccer practice again, and I'd go out there for soccer and baseball and just be like a fairy, just like not doing anything and like playing with bugs, and I just every night he had to be like, oh Jesus Christ, until eventually like he got me into hockey, and I guess after like one practice of that, he's like, oh, we got it. We got it. Nothing like no more baseball for you. No more hanging action figures in your room, buddy. You know, like we're putting you in hockey.
I got sent outside. Like you guys talking about like all these things you did.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, me like the things that I did as a kid. We used to go. There were like woods, a couple houses down, and then behind them the woods started, and we would build forts, tree houses. Dude, from like 4 to 12.
So at 4, you were sent away like in the forest.
At 3. Yeah, I was sent off
with a high heel imprint on his
lap. and then at night you'd come and bed down in the shed in that little dugout spot with the blankets thrown down in it.
Yeah, even at 3 I was off. You know, like it was, my neighborhood was not complicated. There were just sort of 2 roads, and I could find my way home. And I remember, I have distinct memories of this. I would go to places and I'd meet people. My language skills were so bad they couldn't understand me yet. So like my brother might have to translate as I'm like roaming the neighborhood back in the day.
Oh.
And
what are you saying, little buddy? Your shins hurt? You know?
But
you can't see the bruises under the clothes. What's he saying?
we used to go in the woods and build forts. We'd build tree houses.
No, son, I don't know how to calculate an interest rate for you. Why do you ask? Why is that 4-year-old asking me about interest?
Now, honey, to take this seriously, maybe we should let him in. He's clearly gotten in with the wrong crowd here. You know? 4 years old, and he's owing a VIG.
I just go outside. I just go outside and get poison ivy. I still remember.
I loved playing in the woods too. Like that was an activity that really did go from like 6 years old to like 14 or whatever, or like it really went up until girls became your number one priority instead of like making fake weapons and fighting with your friends and building forts.
That's what we did.
And what we used to do, which is like put sheets up as fort walls. So we could like move sheets so we could airsoft.
It wasn't sheets, it was like plastic we'd find, like discarded from a construction site, and we'd start using that as the wall liner and things like that. We had this really clever idea that if we built a tall wall in 90 degrees, like 2 sides of a log cabin, then provided it was a windy storm, there'd always be a side you could take shelter on.
Huh. I remember that to be fair, we weren't 100% involved or concerned with the aesthetics of these forts. It was more just, will this stop a BB from hitting me while we're pretending to be army men? Yeah, then all right, just throw the sheet up. And you could see through the woods from one of our neighbors' houses, like on the other side of the woods, and they could see through and see our fucking taupe or white sheets or whatever. And they actually like called my parents and complained and were like, your son and his friends have a horribly ugly sheet up in the woods behind our homes, and we can see it from our window, from our kitchen window. We can see through the forest and see your son's fort. I want it taken down. And I remember my dad coming to me with that information as like an 11-year-old of like 12 maybe. Like, you got to go take that fort down. Like, what? Why? The Johansons, they can see it from their kitchen. I'm like, what? But is that their land? Like, they can't say. And he's like, no, actually, that's nobody's land. yeah, you don't have to do that. And I was like, so I keep it. He's like, yeah, actually, yeah, that's gonna, yeah, all right, have fun. It's like, all right, well,
yeah, fuck it, make it bigger.
Yeah. You need help with your fork,
Put the
son?
Johansson's on the side of it.
That's
You
some
want,
spray paint. Decorate that for it.
Yeah.
Here's
You
neon
draw a
paint.
swastika, don't you? Yeah, just like in the den. Yeah, above Grandpa's picture. Yeah. Wow.
If you found out that one of your relatives was a Nazi, like a high-ranking Nazi or something, and they had a bunch of like legit historical shit. No, not Jew heads. Not Jew heads, Kyle. That's a way worse angle than what I was going.
I'm just hoping they've got some Jew gold to pass down.
The teeth.
Isn't that a thing?
But they've got the Wehrmacht thing. They've got their Nazi star, whatever it is, like their Luger,
their
Iron
Cross,
their uniform, maybe. What do you do with it? Like, what would you do if you found all that stuff?
You know, my opinions
fit?
on that have.
Jesus is riding along on his burro, and he sees he's a little hungry, a bit peckish. He sees a fig tree up ahead, and he's like, oh, rides over to the fig tree and looks, digging around through the leaves. Not a single fucking fig, and he gets angry, of course, and he says, "You shall never bear fruit again." And the bush withered away and died. And he rode off. The fuck is that? Absolutely.
I don't think
I
they
would
do.
imagine.
No, you don't get an orgasm at
You
7.
absolutely.
You can convince me. I'm not. This isn't a hard and fast belief of mine.
Taylor, go kill yourself.
Nah.
Ah, shit.
Well, like, send me like mean texts about it.
But
high school basketball games. Those were always so much fun going there because you're pretty close to the action in basketball, and I feel like you can see what's going on pretty well.
Are you sure it's not all the 16 through 18-year-olds in the crowd?
Well, I was over there last week, and
oh no, there was no basketball game. Just browsing around.
I was just over there.
well,
Checking in.
The cheerleaders are getting out there early and stretching and stuff, and I like to be there for moral support, and
Like to be able to walk them to their car afterward, make them feel safe.
I'm usually lying in wait out in the parking lot when they get there, so don't really walk to there as much as I kind of lie in wait. That's more my game.
Underneath.
Call me the spider.
Yeah. It was episode called The Pusher or Pusher, and that's what he did. He had this incredible power of suggestion. He'd be like, he'd be like, set yourself on fire, and he'd be like, nah, like no, really though.
Proved to be obstruction of justice, and the guy used the same language when he said, like, I hope that you can see your way to make this not happen at all. End the Flynn
quarantine.